Hello, family and friends. It's Rob, the Sapper gardener, representing Essayons Family Garden, and doing things a little bit different today. I didn't do a intro or a good intro for this video. We're going to show you some of our garden updates for June. We worked out in the garden, all day, and then we cooked a meal, which I may show a sneak peek of what we did at the end. But right now I'm just sitting down in the Sapper cave. I'm actually watching our friend Cheryl's organic food forest. I'm watching her live stream and full from dinner. So let me take you guys out to the garden real quick, then I'll pop back in and then I'll close everything out. So of course, I'm out here with my helpers, SK1 and Sapper pup Maggie. Our sweet peas are still producing for us. We're going to do another harvest today, but we can see there's already starting to be some yellowing on the leaves. So we'll give these another week or two and then do a final harvest, and then we'll pull these out and then we'll sow something behind them. And of course, we got some volunteers in there, so we'll let these grow. These are, I think Mrs. S, she said they were volunteer potatoes. So we'll just let these grow up, and we'll put something in here that's a companion to the potatoes, and we'll have a few extras to harvest. We had the same problem last year when we planted celery here, and we got volunteer potatoes then, and we thought we cleared them all out, but obviously we didn't. So, and speaking of potatoes, our grow bags are doing well. We just added straw to them, so we're doing a combination traditional and roost out method in the potato bags. So we have about a quarter of the way filled up with garden soil, and now as the potatoes grow up, we just keep adding straw in it to make sure we don't completely cover the leaves of the plants, and we'll see how they do. And everything looks healthy now. One of the things we like about growing in grow bags is that we can take the soil out every year, add that into another bed or into our compost pile, and put new soil, so we have less chance of planting something in diseased soil that might affect the potatoes. And the one in our repurposed compost bin is doing great, and this one is doing great too. This one's doing great. And we have blue tomato variety in 3 bags. We've got a gold Yukon in 1, I believe, and I think this one has a combination of the Kennebec and Yukon. So we should get hopefully a good potato harvest. We always look to get 50 pounds every year. We may or may not, just depending on how many of the volunteers that we get. And we actually have volunteers in another area we'll show you guys in a bit. But Mrs. SG also informed me, because I'm slacking. Come on, Maggie. You want some head rubs? Yeah, we've got stuff growing. We threw some lemon drop peppers in here. These are our kohlrabi, and they're doing okay. These in this bed are just getting to the point of bulbing out. We've got a few over here, if Maggie will leave me alone for a second, that are really Maggie, we got some that are doing good here. Maggie, stay away from my butt. Stop sniffing it. Come on, girl. You're a good pup, though. Good girl, Maggie. Good girl. So Yeah, a few other things we'll collect seeds on. A lot of our greens, we'll see what we can get. And we still have a ton of space to fill up in the garden. We're not killing ourselves to get stuff out this year. We're just kind of taking it slow. I have a lot of things transplanted out, but still more to grow. And I skipped over, we've transplanted our sweet potatoes out into buckets. So we've got probably at least 10 buckets with sweet potatoes in them. And we'll see how these all do. And we should get a good sweet potato harvest that'll last us over again until next year. So apologies for any wind noise we might have. We've got dragon tongue beans planted all throughout the garden. So we should get a really good harvest. The dragon tongue beans are not the most productive bean, but they taste delicious. So we planted them in lots of little crooks and crannies, and we'll see how those do for us. We also have some zucchini in here, as well as some other squash that we transplanted out. And we should get some really good production from these, hopefully. This spot seems to be the one for cucumbers, zucchini, squash, just because it gets good sun, and our irrigation system covers it really well. And we got lots of other stuff that we've transplanted out here that we hope will do well. But one of the things that I got out late, if I don't trip, is we took our garlic out of these bed, and we put in some okra seeds and some Kushaw squash seeds in this one. We've got a sweet meat squash seed in this one, along with some okra seeds. And we have okra planted in other places, but we just wanted to fill these beds up with something that'll take up a lot of space and hopefully save us on the weeding. And we got some banana pink jumbo squash and okra that we put into this one. So we'll see how everything does and hopefully get abundant harvest. We still have more beds to fill, and obviously some more weeding to do, which we're going to put out some mats to hopefully burn out the weeds today. So the adventure continues. We're over in Micro Orchard 1, where we put our first hugel mound for our fruit tree gill, and we just came back and covered it up with some straw, and then we're going to put another layer of garden soil over the straw, and we've got wood and other stuff up underneath there. And this space between the two apple trees, we're going to do the same thing. We've got bulk wood that we've cut up from trees coming down on our fences, and we're going to cover this straw up with garden soil. We may put another layer of straw, or we'll see how it looks once we get the garden soil on it. And for this, we've just got some, I won't call it cheap, but we don't have pre-mixed perlite, vermiculite, all that. We've just got basic composted garden soil that we're going to put on here, and we'll start hitting it up with some high nitrogen fertilizer and give it some time to break down and balance out, and then hopefully we'll get some good growth out of it. And when we hit it with the high nitrogen fertilizer, we know a lot of the weeds that are in here now, we'll cut some of those, but once this heats up, it'll be just like our straw bale garden. When it heats up, we expect a lot of the weeds and things to die back, but we'll pull out what we don't want in there. Some of the berry vines we may leave, but next year these areas should be, perfect to continue putting in things that are complementary to the apple trees. And once we get this area done, we'll move over, we'll start the other area there. We'll go into the jungle over there where our kiwis are, and we'll just continue a little bit at a time. We're not going to break our backs and try to do everything in a day or a week. This will be a long-term project, but we think it'll pay dividends. So we're headed over to Micro Orchard 2 to set up another area. So we're over in Micro Orchard 2. And this is where we had an existing hugel mound that we didn't do a lot with last year. We've covered it up with straw. We added some additional garden soil underneath this layer of straw. And we're going to come back and put garden soil on top of the straw. But we've extended it down. We got a couple of buried pest animals over here. And maybe one of the chickens the pest animal got a hold of. So we've got pallets over the burial site. We've got some scrap wood from where we cut up some down trees, which we'll probably have more down soon. And then we've got a layer of straw here. We're going to come back, put a layer of garden soil. Depending on how the mounds come together, we may do another layer of straw and then another layer of garden soil, unless we can get some more. If we can get, well, I shouldn't say should, because we've got all this scrap wood over here. So we'll clear some of this brush away so that we can get to that, and we'll definitely put some over here. Yep, this is probably a good 30 feet long. So we're being ambitious. And yesterday we did the same thing between our grape trellis and this plum tree. So we'll have another hugel mound here next to our grape trellis and our strawbill garden. So all the areas that are kind of not easily mowed, we're going to fill those up with hugel mounds and build our fruit tree guilds up, and hopefully just have some more success in the garden. We'll eventually put one here between our pawpaw tree and that blackberry bush. So we'll leave pathways so we can get through with the John Deere riding mower, but we want to fill up all this open area that's just grass just sitting here to be cut. If it doesn't need to be a walkway or a driveway for the mower, it's gotta go. And Pennsylvania Dutch crookneck squash is doing good so far. We got this in late, and we actually had a problem with our watering system over here. We've got a line running from our front yard over here, and you can see our sprinkler setup that takes care of the trees and the straw bales. The one we had last year broke, you can see next to the new one, but now this is getting consistent water, and everything is springing up, as you can tell by the grass, which was just cut maybe 5-6 days ago. But we hope that these will do good and we can get them trained up the trellis. And I'm probably going to put some beans in there with them, some hyacinth beans, and see if we still have enough left in our growing season for those to take off and to produce. So we got quite a bit done. We were a little sure me, I always overestimate the amount of garden soil I have for every project. I was actually joking with one of our fellow YouTube content creators, Anna, over at Southern Entertaining. You know, every time I think I have enough, I start putting it in, I start mixing everything, and then I don't have enough. So covering up those hugel mounds takes quite a bit of soil if you don't put tons of bulk material, and we do have lots of bulk material, but when we put the soil in, it just filtered in and set everything, and that's a lot of square footage. So we've got another order of garden soil coming in on Friday, so we'll top off some more of those. But again, it's a long-term project. Hopefully the grow light's not driving everybody crazy, but I don't want everybody seeing the mess of the Sapper cave. So it's a long-term project to get all the hugel mounds done that we plan to do. We'll probably take the better part of a year working on it here and there as the budget allows. And yeah, it's just fun getting out there with SK1 and working, and I may have a few clips in here of SK2 out there helping Mrs. SG doing some of the harvest. And it's just fun to get out there to break a sweat and to see stuff done. It would be nice to be 20 and knock everything out in a day or two, but I'm not 20 anymore. So let me get out of here, finish Miss Cheryl's live stream. I'm in ninja mode most of the time, so I watch a lot and I don't comment as much as some people do. I probably should comment just so she knows I'm in there, but if she watches this, she'll know I was in there. So I'm gonna finish my adult beverage, and to our good friend Lead Farmer 73, guava, my friend, and to all our other friends in YouTube land and in real life too. God bless our great country America, you wherever you reside around the world, your garden, your harvest, your kitchen, your meals, and especially your family to have health, success, and prosperity as we do. Take care. Sapper out.